I travel around Australia with my dogs in our motorhome, and in my travels I've seen many wonderful things. Centuries and millennia ago, when people gazed in wonder at the things around them and struggled to explain how such beauty or how such interesting phenomena could exist, they came up with the concept of a supernatural being who made everything with the sweep of his hand or a breath of air from his lungs, and this being was called a spirit or a god, sometimes even an alien. These days, when scientists have solved so many of nature's mysteries, there's no excuse. These beauties occurred naturally. We now know that no God created sights like this. We know that in a certain climatic zone, with certain soils, and the presence of other wholly explainable criteria, and with no interference from man in the form of settlements or land clearing, we get sights like this. Some will try and rationalize, saying that the concept of God and the concept of nature are the same thing. They'll tell you that nature and God are but two names for the same phenomena. Wrong. Nature and God are not the same thing. For a start, nature exists. A religious person may say, God wrought all this, and leave it at that. The religious person is therefore excused from doing any actual thinking. Why bother to learn about evolution or Darwin? Such things don't count because God wrought everything. Period. No need to think deeply, apart from contemplating nature's wonder, perhaps in awe or delight. Atheists such as myself also contemplate nature's wonders with awe and delight, but because we know there is no God, we delve further. When I see an unusual rock formation or an ancient rainforest, I head for the computer and Mr. Google to research what I've just seen, see if I can find out as much as possible about it. And for that reason alone, I put it to you that atheists appreciate science and nature at least as much as religious people do, because there is not a superficial wonderment. Atheists have spent time thinking about how it was created, how things came to be, and so they appreciate the complexities with a greater depth than a Christian or a Muslim, who'll shrug and say, the wonders of God or Allah are manifold, and we should give thanks and prayer, or similar garbage. The wonders of nature are manifold. Leave God out of it. Look at it. It's beautiful. It was created in a way that science fully explains. And God has nothing to do with it. Sorry, religious people. This is one of the easiest sections of the Kokoda Challenge that's held annually. It's in Queensland, right up, hard up against the New South Wales border. The event attracts people of all ages and various levels of fitness in teams of 4. At the elite level, teams come from the military and the police. They run all day and then through the night, no sleep, heavy backpacks. In fact, they don't sleep until they cross the finish line. They can often do it in about, I don't know the times that they do it because they get so far ahead of me. Usually I think in about 36 hours. Other people do it in 2 days, 3 days, 4 days or longer. At the public level, people like myself obviously walk at a more leisurely pace or sometimes jog. We stop at night for a sleep and then we continue the next day. Last year my team of, shall we say, elderly gentlemen got beaten by a team of schoolgirls. But that's only because we let them, said us, to each other, in the pub later. But hey, we all enjoyed ourselves, and on my team at least, we surveyed our surroundings, took out our cameras, identified the various plants and wildlife, and discussed the wonders of nature as we plodded. And in my team, there are teams of 4, and in my team the other 3 were all professionals. There was a doctor, there was some sort of a scientist, I'm not sure what he does now. They were all retired, we were all retired, but they were all professionals. And do you know, all 4 of us were atheists. And yet we were the ones that were stopping and looking around and appreciating the absolute beauty of the surroundings that we were going through. And as we said to ourselves afterwards, if only we'd been Christians, we wouldn't have bothered stopping and we would probably have won this stupid race. I guess what I'm saying is, don't let the religious ones hijack the love of beauty and the love of nature. Don't let them fool you into thinking all this is God's work. It's not. We know how all this came about, and it's even more wondrous and even more beautiful. That's the origins of all this. Is even more beautiful than God making it in 7 days. An atheist has to think about the wonders of nature. A religious person does not. A religious person says God did it all. There's no thinking required. So religion is a substitute for deep thought. Religion is a cop-out.